drug rivals, or if they've got beef with somebody, they'll do that in front of you to make you understand that if you don't play ball, this is what's going to happen. And I've witnessed a lot that's what they do. It's a very sad world for the people who's getting dragged into it. Very, 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 because a lot of people they've got their own problems already. They come from broken homes. They don't target guys who's got a nice, happy family, a bit of money in the lap. They don't target them people. They're targeting vulnerable children.
So, you know, last week when I was saying with the students, the drugs delivered to your house in under an hour, and Amazon Prime can't do that. That's why the hierarchy he's talking about with the big dealers and the lines that are established in geographic locations. That's why it's delivered to your door in under an hour. You text your local dealer from your whole of residence, yeah, delivered quicker than Amazon because people like this are involved in the system.
Yeah, and it's because they've got to get to you that quick. It's not because they want to be the best drug dealer in Derby. It's because they've got they know there's other people, there's other competition. Yes. So their bosses are like, you've got to get out there and get rid of it. If you let that phone, don't answer that phone or miss calls on that phone, you're in trouble, basically.
If you're about to go and party and it's delivered by the time you need to go, what are you going to do? You're going to go to your next dealer in your contact.
That's it, that's it. Nobody, people don't wait for drugs. No. That's the problem. To be a good drug dealer, you've got to be, you don't sleep, you can't, I'll be off an hour. It's no good, no chance. Yeah. I'm there, 2 minutes, you've got to be around corner, you've got to be off, or you've got to have another little person ready to go and drop it off for you. So that's like, it's a constant flow of like, and then you get your own little undergo. I'll find my own little workers to work under me. So when he gives me an order, that's too dangerous for me. You're doing it. You just passed the buck. Vicious circle, very, very vicious circle.
Yeah. Tell us the next minute. So 15, 16, you're running a shop, graduated from your small tasks.
Well, basically, I made a name for myself because I did get quite big. I was a tall kid. I got big quite quick, and I made a name for myself. In the area where we lived, I was white, which I was a minority. There was a couple of white kids in the estate. Rest, it was black, Somalis, just a total ethnic. What I wasn't used to coming from Rotherham, it was a different world to me. So I very quickly had to become somebody I wasn't to prove a point. Leave me alone. I'm white, yeah. And I got bullied at the beginning. They tried it. We got fighting at the very beginning when I got there because of the way I spoke. Because I was from Rotherham. And it was like, am I all right, mate? Really fresh Rotherham accent. Oh, yeah, that's it. And it caused problems. But that's what made me have to become a more violent, I become worse than them for that reason, to say, don't fuck with me, basically. Then everyone, that's how it happened. I got my name by, he's fucking crazy. And it was an act. It was a show, not a show. I'd say more an act that you're doing something you're not. I'm not that person. I always believe that. Yes, I've done some horrible things. Yes, I've lived that life, but I've never had a bad heart. You just have to deal with what you've been given. Yeah. So I did. And like I said, I had to be worse than everybody else in my eyes. I had to make a name.
Once you got promoted, what was life like then? What you're doing once you kind of moved up the ranks?
Well, then it was basically, they taught me to be this ruthless gangster then. Seen a lot of things, stabbing, shootings, all that. That was massive in my life. I'd seen a lot of it. And when I got to about 18, 19, I wanted away from them. So I robbed them. I took £20,000 worth of drugs and guns and toddled off to Rotherham with it. And that was my way of setting my life up in Rotherham. I set myself up in Rotherham. Now I'm them. So now I've become them. I've come to Rotherham. I need workers. So through them, they molded me into that person. And now I'm doing exactly the same as them. There's a lot of people that have probably done prison through me, by this is what I have to live with now. This is the consequences of that life. Because at the time, I'm gangster. I think but you don't. If I knew then what I knew now, my life would have took a totally different path. But yeah, here we are. I've had to just make do with it. I'm trying to make amends, basically. I've done it. I've done that life. I've done things I'm not proud of. I've done things I'm ashamed of. And now it's time. This is why we've got to this point, because things happened in life where I realised I couldn't carry on like that. And like I said, with me, it was a defining moment. I'd started trying to change, started getting myself educated, paying for education, site manager stuff, which I did. I got, and then my mother passed away. She got 6 months left to live with cancer. And that was the defining moment, because then I started sniffing cocaine, drinking alcohol while she was poorly. And before she left, she was absolutely, I was just a wreck of a man. I had nothing in life. I was sniffing cocaine, drinking every day. And I promised her before she left, I was going to sort myself out. And this is where we are now. That's what kind of led me to this point. It was already kind of, I was trying to get to that point. But I was speaking about this the other day to someone. You can't do both. You can't say, I'm changing my life, but I'm going to stay a bit in that. I was trying to juggle it. I was trying to be legitimate, but I'll still sell a bit of weed. I'll still do this. I'll fucking rob a crop when I need it. I was juggling the life, and it's still never. You're still always then tied to that life, that people, especially when you've got a name for yourself. As soon as they've got a bit of trouble, Jimmy, I need your help. So then there's always a risk of prison, and especially when someone like me who's got a bad record, and I've been going to prison since I was very young. So every single thing now, even if it's like what you'd class as petty, they'll send me straight to prison for it. There will be there is no more chances for me. Any little crime, anything, I will go straight back to prison every time. So that's another consequence of that life. Jobs, you can't get jobs, you can't get insurances, you can't. It's hard. It's very hard. I still struggle with it now to this day.
And how old was the first time you went to prison?
17.
17. And been there how many times?
I'd say at least 20 now. Yeah. I've done all to get. We've kind of added it up. Not all at once, but around 8 years I've spent in prison, and I'm 39. So that's bad. That's really bad. But the longest I've done was I got a 5-year sentence for a kilo of cocaine, and I did 2.5 years out of that. That's the longest time I've done in prison as a block. But other than that, it's been like years and 7 months and stuff like that. All added up, about 8 years I've spent in prison.
And just paint a picture about life in prison. Similar hierarchies to outside.
Life in prison, it's 10 times worse. It's dog eat dog. I don't wish it on anybody, especially now. Prison is not. It's an asylum basically. Drugs, spice has took over the place. It's a very, very dangerous place. If you're someone who's and I've seen it quite a lot. People who just sometimes victim of circumstance, they get done for something in prison, and they are. You can spot them a mile away as soon as they walk in. Someone like me, I'd class myself as established in prison. I can walk now. If I got locked up tomorrow, I'd walk on like, there you go. I don't need for nothing. I've got that name. But it's for people who got nothing, people who've never done it before. They struggle in prison bad, because they're not used to this. They'll come on. They'll be on the wing for the first day, and there's a fight breaking out there, and there's a fight breaking out there. To me, that's normal. It don't bother me. But can you imagine someone who's not used to that life, and you can see, and they get targeted then? They come into jail, they might have never touched a drug in their life. They'll go out with a drug habit because they're being targeted by the big guys in jail, which is usually someone like me. There's like 20 of me on a wing in prison, tall, and in prison I go supersized, so which everybody does in prison. It's what you do. So, yeah.
And so when you say you target the new guys, why would you target these guys? I'm asking some silly questions.
It's not like it's basically it's everybody's on and everybody wants it in prison. It's a new opportunity. It's not just because it's the new guy. Yeah. It's a new victim. Especially in prison, there ain't many opportunities. So every opportunity you see in prison, you want it, or something to earn money, or you got drugs up his bum. Yeah. Get him out now. And that's how brutal it is. It's yeah, and no difference is what you'd pay out here for let's say cannabis, for example, £10 worth of cannabis out here. I'd be able to earn at least £100 off that in prison. Off the £10, you get nothing for your money. And then these people, the people who are buying these drugs, are then where they're getting the money from. The mums, the dads, the thingies. So they're ringing their mum, if you don't get me this, I'm going to get slashed up. Or it's organised crime in prison is bigger. I'd say bigger, a lot bigger. because most of these guys have come out from the streets as big organized crime drug dealers anyway.